I love when coaches, consultants, and professional service providers want to do big things in their business. They want to rise to the top and influence their market and the world around them. They want to have a greater impact and make a more lucrative income. Well, if this is you, welcome to Expert in You podcast, the show where I interview other experts and coaches, consultants, so that they can share their success strategies with you. We're going to talk about marketing and how to close more sales, how to get more premium clients, and how to really build your visibility in the market and scale your business like a boss. If this is you, welcome to the show. I want to ask you to subscribe and hit the notification bell right now so you don't miss one episode. Grab your coffee and buckle up because we are ready to give it all to you to help you become the expert and get paid as the expert that you are. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Expert in You podcast. I'm your host, Carden, and this week I am talking to Dr. Tiffany Slater. And I'm excited to have Tiffany on because she is the CEO and she's a senior HR consultant for her own company. And she is doing some great things out there in the business space. So Tiffany, welcome to my show.
Thank you for having me, Ann.
I'm going to say Dr. Tiffany. It just sounds so expert. So I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you.
So she's getting back from a retreat. So we'll see if we can kind of get her back to business here. So Dr. Tiffany, can you share a little bit of your backstory and kind of how you got into doing what you're doing today?
Yeah. Well, I've been a human resources professional for over 25 years. And I know I look 12, but I'm not.
We both do, right? Yes.
Exactly. So I got to a point at work where I had a dream job and I was miserable. So I had to figure out something else to do with myself. I'm not, old enough to retire or financially, able to retire yet. Mm-hmm. So I needed to do something to make a living. And so through a spiritual journey that I embarked upon, or that the Lord thrusted upon me, I should say, I was able to determine that being my own boss would be the best way to go, and to start a business and use my human resources knowledge and experience would be the best use of my time. Mm-hmm. I am now in a position where I'm able to create what I call joyful work experiences for others.
I love it. So that is exactly what she's doing, is she's making other entrepreneurs and business owners their lives much easier because she's taking a lot of that back end work off of their shoulders, which we are so not good at. I mean, my assistant was in here with me today and I said, I don't know what I would do without you because this is just not my wheelhouse. I'm the visionary and the creative and so I love that you're doing that. There's such a need.
It really is.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about some of the companies you work with and who makes a good client for you, and then some of the services that you actually provide to them.
Yeah. So we love working with small businesses with 5 to 50 employees, mm-hmm. and nonprofit organizations. And we typically work with those organizations that are in professional service industries. Mm-hmm. So accounting firms, marketing, design firms, and then, of course, nonprofit organizations who are providing therapy services, mm-hmm. or online virtual trainings and learning opportunities, things like that. So those are the organizations that we love working with. Wonderful. And what we tend to do for them, Anne, is we serve as their virtual human resources team. Mm-hmm. I decided that small organizations deserve to have the same human resources support that larger organizations have. And so that's what we do. If HR was in a box, we would come to your organization, pick up your HR box, and bring it to our offices. So that means that we do everything from A to Z. We onboard, We enter all of the data into the payroll system. We do not pay. We don't believe that that is an HR function. But we do the record keeping, benefits administration, help you set up benefits if you've never done it before, design your compensation strategies, help you make employee-related decisions, answer employee calls if they have questions about where's my insurance card or who is our insurance through, or I think my supervisor is not treating me fairly or is not hearing me when I'm talking to them. So we design employee handbooks, make sure that our team members or that our clients are well informed and have the resources that they need to make solid employment decisions.
I wish I would have known someone like you or a company like you when I was running a lot of my businesses for many, many years, because we had to do a lot of these things ourselves. Yes. Consultants weren't, everywhere, and coaching wasn't everywhere. And we didn't have all of the capabilities that we do with technology and things like that. And so it was always really, I always felt like it was a difficult piece of the business that seemed like it took time and energy. And it really takes away from, if it's not your sweet spot, it really takes away from you being able to do the things that really are going to elevate your business and help you be more successful. So I absolutely love that you're doing this. And this is why I wanted to have you on here, because small business owners a lot of times get stuck in their business and they really don't a lot of times realize, Dr. Tiffany, that there are people out there like you providing these services to them, and you could be making their life so much easier.
Yes, I agree. And the other thing that they don't realize, or I'm going to say we don't realize, because I too am a small business owner, but we don't realize how much mental space things like this take up. Just because,
I do.
Yes, you should. But
everyone needs this.
Yes, because we're thinking about all of these things that we're not an expert in. We think about it much more than we do the things that we do naturally.
Right. That's true. And the other thing too, and I think a lot of people don't really think this way. It's sad, but we're sort of in a world of litigation. I mean, it seems like every time you turn around, people are suing each other, they're suing their employer, and I really believe that in the marketplace today, and in the world today, you can't really afford to make HR mistakes. Yeah. Would you say that's a fair statement?
I would say that is a very fair statement. And I will also say that to some degree, it's not possible to avoid them all, right?
Right.
But we need to do the most we can to avoid them, because some effort is better than none. And should you ever be audited by the Department of Labor, I think that you would be in a better position if you were able to say, well, we did this, but we didn't do this, opposed to saying we didn't do any of it.
Right.
So I definitely think it's important that we make some effort towards doing what is right for our business and therefore our team members.
Yes, I totally agree. So what are 3 things that you think business owners should really know about? Like, what are the critical pieces or elements that they absolutely should not be without? And then how you provide those services. Would you like to talk about that a little bit?
I would love to.
Because it's your wheelhouse.
It's my wheelhouse. I could talk HR all day.
I know.
So the first thing that small businesses or organizations should always have an employee handbook. Now, let me give a few tips about that, Anne. I've seen employee handbooks that individuals have pulled off of the internet and just slapped their company name on the first page.
And that doesn't work?
It does not work. No, ma'am. Let me tell you why it doesn't work. Because if you read the handbook, which a lot of people don't, it could be talking about laws that are from Istanbul when you are operating in the center of the United States, right? So it doesn't protect you. You may as well not have an employee handbook.
Good point.
The other thing that it does is if you read it, what if it has another company's name all throughout the book? You still may as well not have it because it's not even talking about your company.
Right.
So you've got to have a handbook that is not just one that you pull down from the internet and put your company name on. You've got to have one that has been developed by an expert. Even handbooks that I do, I make sure that my client sends it to their attorney to make sure that that we are all aligned.
I love it. Yeah.
Yes. Very important. First, that's the first thing. Got to have an employee handbook. The second thing that's really important is have a great onboarding process.
Yes. That can save so many problems and so many headaches down the road.
Absolutely. It definitely can. And the reason that it can, and is because a lot of times we hire people and we just throw them in. We don't tell them anything about our organization.
Right.
We give them a handbook, but we don't make sure that they read it or understand.
Right. You don't test them on it.
Right. We just say, here you go. Read this when you get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But by the way, I need you to sign the acknowledgement form to say that you got it.
Right.
So that's no fair. So we've not acclimated them to the culture of our organization. We've not shared with them our expectations or what we hope to accomplish by having them a part of our team. And we've not shared with them the rules of engagement, if you will. How do we expect them to show up? How do we expect them to treat our customers or clients and how to treat each other? And, do we work on Fridays? Do people work after 4:30? We haven't shared any of those things with them. Mm-hmm. So it's no wonder that people turn over very quickly and leave organizations.
Right.
The third thing, get an HR friend. It is so important that organizations have an HR expert as a part of their speed dial capability, if you will. Mm-hmm. So, it's very important that even if you don't have an HR consultant that you work with or HR person on your team, have an HR friend so that you can email a question or pick up the phone and call that person and ask them or run a scenario past them. You don't always have to go to your attorney. An attorney is way more expensive than we are.
Right. You're such an important part of their team, and you really do partner in a way. And I don't want to misrepresent, but in a way, you're sort of like almost another employee for them, except from an expert status.
Yes.
And you don't live in their business in the same way, but you really are part of their team, part of their leadership team, and part of their management team.
Absolutely. And the other thing, what's really important about us being a part of their team is that we become familiar enough with our clients' organizations that we are able to interpret laws for them and write policies that best fit their organization.
Yes.
That's important too.
Yes. Those are all really, really great things. And again, a lot of times people think they don't need these things, but you really do. And it doesn't matter what size business you are. You really do need these things. Dr. Tiffany, how would people buy your services? So you offer different packages and different structures. Would you share a little bit about that?
Sure. So we do a retainer. Mm-hmm. So when I say we are your HR team, we are your HR team. We come to your team meetings. We do your onboarding for you. We do everything for you from an HR perspective, except for payroll and recruiting. Mm-hmm. Because if we recruited for you, we would cost way too much, and it would eat up all of the time that we have set aside to do your HR work.
Okay.
So we do retainers, and we also do project-based work, and we do compensation plans for as a project,
Mm-hmm.
benefits plans as a project, employee handbook, and onboarding processes. So we have those 4 projects that we do. And then, of course, we can be your HR friend, and we have on-call HR services that we charge on an hourly basis.
I love it. That's such a nice suite of products too that you offer, and services, I should say, that you offer business owners. So really, they can work with you. Almost any business could work with you, and it's affordable for them to work with you. Is that right?
I think it's affordable when I consider, the alternative.
I was just going to say, what's the alternative, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, those are all great things, and I just love what you're doing. So what else would you like to share with my audience that you feel you would like to share about your business or what they should know? What else do you have?
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I think is important about what we do, Anne, is that we are not just a resource for the business and for the owner. We are also a resource for their employees. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes, employees feel as though they don't have someone that they can talk to, or they're uncomfortable. They may like the boss and the CEO and the executive director, but for whatever reason, they don't feel safe or comfortable having conversations with them about things that concern them. And so we are not just a resource for the organization, we're a resource for the team as well. Right. So that the team can have someone that they can talk to, that they feel they can trust, and won't implement any retaliation from their perspective.
Yes.
I think that's super important as well. The other thing that I think that is underestimated about what we do, the fact that we are able to execute the onboarding process is huge.
Oh, that takes a lot off of a business owner's plate and management's plate. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And so that's another thing that we do. I can't speak highly enough about the work that we do. One, because I just love HR, first of all. Second of all, I love the fact that we get to help small businesses, those organizations that employ half of America, to create amazing jobs and joyful work opportunities or joyful work experiences for people. I love that we get to do that. It's fun.
You can hear her passion. I mean, you can always tell when people are just living their dream business, because I can just hear your passion. Your thing is not my thing. I just want to say that I'm so grateful for people like you, Dr. Tiffany. We need people like you. But I really love it. And I do love your passion. And she just has an amazing company. She's literally built a company under her. And I think that is so special too. And the services that you're providing are just absolutely invaluable to small businesses, and everyone should be taking advantage. And I know a lot of people, especially if they're a smaller business, they often think, that's something we can't afford. But when you look at, even if you've only got a few employees and you're an owner, when you look at what is your time worth, and are you really the expert in that? And you said it earlier, the mental energy and the bandwidth, and, you trying to figure all those things out or learn about them. It just really doesn't make sense when there are people out there now that can do that and be that resource for you. So I think so highly of what you're doing. And you can just hear she would be a great partner for your team. So what would you like to send people to, or is there something you would like to offer them for how they can reach out to you?
So go to our website, hrtailormade.com, sign up for our newsletter. I send out amazing information. Obviously, I would say that, but I really do believe that we do. We send out really good information for individuals to read. And you know what? it's lighthearted. It's not a long, detailed blog or anything like that. It's simple things. So we have a great YouTube page as well. It's HR Tailor Made. And we have some great videos out there that I think that owners or leaders in general could really benefit from. So thank you.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, we will put all of that information with the show notes. And then also Dr. Tiffany is on LinkedIn. Are you on Facebook as well? Not so much. LinkedIn. Okay, she's there, but LinkedIn is where you can really reach her, and she's very active on LinkedIn. I know that for sure, but we'll put all of that information in the show notes. And I can't thank you enough for being on here, sharing your expertise and shining the light on what entrepreneurs and business owners should be doing in their businesses, not just to protect themselves, but really to run a more upstanding business, a more professional business. And, in the marketplace today, employees are hard to find. So when people don't leave, their jobs, right? They leave owners, they leave the business, they leave the company because of the way things are run and the chaos and the way they're treated. And you can really help keep all of that sort of in check and help you retain your employees. And at the end of the day, that it's just about running a better business, which everyone should have a desire to do.
Absolutely.
So I love it. So thank you so much for being my guest. You're wonderful, and I love what you're doing. And please reach out to her if you have a need for these services. And if you don't have a need, maybe you know someone that does. So thanks so much for being here. And until next time, all of you, thanks for tuning in. God bless you. Have an amazing week. Bye-bye. If you've enjoyed this episode, I want to invite you to go check out a free training that I have at expertinu.us. It is a training that I have on how you can get ultra premium dream clients, scale your business, get more freedom, and really simplify your business and multiply your money. So go check that out. And again, that is expertinu.us. I want to thank you for being here with me this week. I hope you found massive value. Please always leave a comment, feedback, or a question. We check them all. And I want you to go rock your business and make sure you join us again next week. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.